Welcome to Würth Knowing. Today, I'm very excited to have my dear friend Laura, an expert in inventory management here, and that is the topic that we're going to talk about. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into understanding inventory management, why too much or too little is not good, but I'm not going to jump ahead, Laura. I'm just going to ask you for everyone to understand, what is inventory management?
Thank you for having me. Inventory management is controlling the flow of goods into your business. So you always want to have the right amount at all times. You don't want to have too much or too little.
Kind of like in your fridge at home,
Yes.
right?
So if you have too much, it will spoil, or if you're a business, it might not sell. So you will have all your money tied to that inventory that is
You're
not
sitting
moving.
on it, yeah.
Yes. If you have too little, like you and I, if we go to a store and they don't have what we're looking for, we'll go and buy it somewhere else. Miss sales for you.
And I'm guessing because inventory is such a broad term and we have so many different businesses that there are different types of inventory.
Yes. So there's four that are the main ones that I want to discuss today with you. The first one and typical is raw materials. So that's basically what you extract from earth, like aluminum or steel.
That has not yet been treated in any way, right?
It is in raw form. For customers that are OEMs or they produce something, it would be like a sheet of steel that they are going to make into something else. That process is when they have the work in progress materials. So they're basically taking that raw material and converting it into something else.
Oh, kind of like we're all work in
Yes.
progress. Yeah.
Exactly like that. Then you have your finished goods. That's when you have the finished material, what you are going to sell to the customer. And lastly, you have MRO. Do you know what that is?
I think I remember, is it maintenance, repair, and operation?
Yes, you are correct.
Keeping my industry cred.
So that is everything that you use daily, like your gloves, your helmets, boots, safety glasses. So basically, those are the four types of inventory.
So with different types of inventory, though, I'm also guessing that you have to control inventory to a
Yes.
degree. And just thinking of my fridge, I have a really hard time controlling that. So maybe you as a professional can help me out. How do businesses do it?
So the first one I'm going to talk about is FIFO, which is first in, first out.
Oh, there's some recollection from college.
So you can use that on your fridge, or a store can use that as well, like produce. You buy avocados yesterday and then you go to the store and you buy them tomorrow. You want to use the ones you bought first before they spoil, and then use the ones you bought second later.
Easier said than done, right?
Yeah. But that makes sense, right?
Yes.
And then there's the opposite.
Oh, wait, isn't it something like LIFO?
Yes, last in, first out.
out.
So that is used more for inventory control and in your cost. So you buy something yesterday that is $100, and then you buy something today that is $120. You want to keep your inventory cost down, so you're going to sell the one that is the most expensive first.
Oh, yeah, you sell the more expensive one first, so you keep the cheaper one on stock.
On
That
stock,
makes sense.
yes. Okay. Next, JIT, or just in time. Have you heard about that one
Kind of
before?
like how I want all my delivery to be, yeah.
Yes. So this one was created by Toyota, the car maker, and they only have an inventory what they already have on orders, firm orders,
Oh, so it's like a real life or real time
just
type
in
of-
time.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah. And lastly, it would be economical order quantity, or EOQ.
Okay.
So that one is, for example, a coffee shop. They know how much they sell a month, and for them to have the right amount at all times at the best cost would be, for example, buying 12,000 pounds of beans. Okay, I need more coffee.
Oh, kind of like economies of scale to a
Yeah,
degree?
for example, for me, I know I have to buy 4 bottles of wine for it to be cheaper than if I buy one by one.
Smart move.
Yes. So that is my economical order quantity.
Well, you were able to explain some of those acronyms to me that I honestly have put in the back of my head since college, but it made total sense. However, I do have a question for you because, you know, inventory management is a business function for a lot of organizations. And with that, I'm guessing they also have metrics, right? Because there's always metrics.
Yes. So there are a lot of metrics, but I'm going to talk about a few today. So the first one would be reorder point. And that is when you get to the quantity where you order more inventory.
Oh, kind of with how little are you comfortable of having?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can apply that to your own life too.
Doing that right now.
Lead time is the time it takes to get the products from when you order it.
Oh, kind of like from click till when it comes to your door,
Yes.
right?
So it could be 15, 30, 90 days.
Ideally too.
Ideally too. But you need to make sure that that is correct in your system because that's going to drive a lot of the other metrics.
Yeah.
Safety stock, that is the extra stock you keep to make sure that you don't have stock outs or back orders.
So like the professional word for hoarding?
Yes, but in a smart way.
Yeah.
Then stock outs. So that's why you maintain safety stock because you don't want to run out of stock or miss on your sales.
No, because that would kind of cost you on multiple different levels.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Lastly, it would be carrying cost. So you buy a part and that costs you something, the delivery costs you something, but keep it in stock is also costing you real estate. It's costing you the handling and it's costing you every day that you keep that in stock.
So basically looking at how much of cost you accumulate at each station.
By having that in stock.
Now, let me ask you though, I feel like I always see in reports that I look at the metric of inventory turns or turnover.
Oh my God, yes, I cannot believe I forgot that.
That's what I'm here for, right?
Your inventory turns is how many times your inventory is turning, normally in a period of a year or 12 months.
Oh, basically how many times you would empty out your
Yes.
stock. Okay.
So,
that
and
makes
it's
sense.
normally 3 or 4 times a year.
Okay. But for me now, that begs the question is like, obviously everybody wants to manage their inventory ideally, meaning they have to replenish it in the
Yes.
best possible way. Are there any techniques that you would recommend or that you come across as a professional?
Yes, I have 4 that are my favorite ones. The first one would be reorder point, reorder quantity. We already know what reorder point is. Reorder quantity would be once you get to that reorder point or that level of inventory, how much are you going to reorder?
That's what I have to work on because I constantly miss that point.
So
in my
that is the
personal life.
quantity that you are going to bring in inventory. The next one would be time-based. So for example, talk about that coffee shop again. They can order in intervals like daily, weekly, monthly, regardless of how much they have on hand, they're always going to get the same amount of napkins.
Oh, so it's like on
plates.
schedule,
Yes.
basically. Yeah.
And it's always the same quantity, regardless of what quantity you already have.
I wish I had that discipline in my life.
Yeah, no, we all do. And the last 2 are a combination of what we do at Würth. So the first one would be demand-driven. That is what I specialize in. And it's managing your forecast. So if I know there's going to be a very crude winter, for example,
Oh, please don't give me PTSD on crude winters.
and I am forecasting for 2,000 snowblowers, I might increase that to 2,500.
Because
planning
you know
and
the demand's
anticipation.
going to go up.
Yes,
Okay.
so I'm going to forecast for that increase.
Yeah.
And then lastly, it would be your BMI or vendor managed inventory.
Okay.
So that is when the supplier manages the inventory of the customer. So you are in charge of replenishing that and making sure they always have the right amount on hand.
Oh, so you're handing that responsibility to someone else that basically monitors
To
it
your
for
supplier,
you, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And it could be anything from fasteners, MRO, plastics, etc.
But now, Laura, you're making this sound all very easy.
Oh no, it's not
It's
easy.
not easy. I'm guessing there are like challenges in inventory management that
Yes.
everybody has, right?
One of the challenges is, again, stock outs or over inventory.
I'm literally just thinking of my fridge and groceries, right?
Adding too much or too little is always going to be a big challenge. Next, you have seasonality. So it could be, again, with the snow blowers,
Oh, that snowblower.
but you have to plan in advance for what that season is going to do. Okay. Next would be external disruptors.
Oh, I'm guessing there's a lot of unforeseen circumstances that can
Yes.
happen there.
So,
right?
for example, we had a supplier that burned down their plant. So we had to look for material elsewhere right away. COVID was a big disruptor.
Yeah, you really can't plan for that,
No,
right?
we had to move our supply around in different countries, different times.
I take my easy statement back. You can definitely not forecast for
It's
all
not
this.
easy, but you have to be prepared for all of that. And lastly, it would be forecasting errors.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where if you forecast too much, you run into your overstock. If you forecast too little, you will run out of it. So you always have to have that balance.
The next time I run out of toothpaste, I'm just going to call it a forecasting error.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Laura, you're starting to convince me that it's not as easy as it sounds on paper. There's so many challenges, and honestly, they kind of seem to multiply as we go into different types of experiences in our world. But let me ask you, because I have you here, you have some tips and tricks of the trade. What can you do to mitigate those challenges? Like, what are you working on, for example?
So we just talk about challenges. What are some ideas that you have about how?
Oh, she's putting me on the spot. I think I would probably guess the using technology, because the first thing that I'm thinking with inventory is you want to know where it is, how much you have, and for that, we need technology.
Yes, and there's so many different things that we can do about technology. You have your warehouse managed systems, you have RFID, you have now AI learning.
AI's in everything.
Yeah, that is the next big thing. What else do you think we can?
I mean, the next thing is probably, when I'm thinking back of the metrics, I would think that you want to forecast, or you want to get better at your forecast to not run out of stuff or to manage it correctly.
So having a good forecast has a lot to do with collaboration and communication with customers and with suppliers.
Wait, are you telling me that communication's the secret ingredient?
That is the key. So if my customer tells me that they're going to have a change in production, they're going to do more or less of something, that I can adjust my forecast, and I can communicate that to my suppliers as well, so they can also adjust their production.
So basically, you're just trying to get better at every step in all
See
of
how
your
it is very
interactions.
important.
That makes a lot of sense and applies to other things too, right?
Yes. You also want to make sure that you do audit or cycle counts on your inventory. You want to know how much you have at all times. And you can do that by going and use your ABC policy or inventory segmentation.
I've heard that before, but for the life of me, can't recall what it stands
So
for.
you segment your inventory based on cost or picks. So how fast is it turning, or how much does it cost? And you're obviously going to put more emphasis on everything that is the most expensive, or that it's always turning. You don't want to be without those goods, but you don't want to have too much.
Because those are the goods that would make your customers mad if you didn't have them.
Exactly.
That's what we would complain about if we go anywhere we can't find it.
Yes, and
right?
that's why you count it. You don't want to be out of it, but you don't want to think that you don't have it, buy more, and then find a ton of inventory and now have too much.
It all sounds so easy on paper, but it is really difficult to get it right.
Yeah, I mean, it is certainly an experience to manage inventory. But it boils down to communication, good record keeping, and also resilience.
And I cannot believe how resilient you are on inventory management, because you've managed to really break it down for me and explain it. And I hope that everybody else also understood it better. Laura, thank you so much for being here. And to all of you, thank you for joining Worth Knowing, and we hope to see you soon.
Look at him. He's so happy.
I am just crushing it today.
No, but is there something I'm forgetting?
I don't think so. You got it.